Good evening. In India, we feel very proud, especially after casting our vote, to tell others, look, I have voted in the elections. And nowadays, of course, we have a system, we take the selfies and we post those selfies also. So India is a largest democratic country in the world, and we, the citizens of India, will feel very happy and we take part in this election process. We vote in the elections. But since India is a democratic country, one person has one vote only. One person, one vote only. Some people may be thinking that in some of the elections you have voted for two times. Okay, that is not two times. Sometimes what will happen, Lok Sabha elections and state assembly elections will happen simultaneously. During the time, the person who is a registered voter will be allowed to vote for one vote for Lok Sabha and one for the assembly. Right? So put it together, that is called two. But one person, one election, one vote only. So this is, this a system of a democracy, and this is what we are following since the beginning. So meaning is simple: no person is permitted to vote two times in the same election. Right? So this is the basic thing. But how do you recognize a person whether he really voted or not? So for this reason, what happens, the election commission will put some ink here, that is called indelible ink. That's called indelible ink. So the Karnataka government company, Karnataka state government company, it has got monopoly over this manufacturing of this indelible ink since the year 1962. So that is supplying this indelible ink to election commission. So after we cast our vote, right, of course, before we casting only, but the moment you enter inside, after verifying our credentials, so this indelible ink will be pasted here. So this cannot be removed so easily, right? Say for example, I stay in Hyderabad. For Telangana state assembly elections were held in on December 7th, right, 2018. So I voted in that election, and this is what the mark you can see. So this is still there. So this is still there. So meaning, so that will be there for long period of time. So the main thing is that since elections happen on that particular day, at least for some time, at least for a few days, that the mark should be there, so that the person can be recognized that this person has voted in the election, and he should not come back for voting for the second time. That is a basic idea, right? And when it comes to our company from Karnataka, this company is the major supplier of indelible ink to our election commission, and election commission will distribute the ink to these various states where the elections are happening. And similarly, the same company is also exporting indelible ink to various other countries also. But in most of the countries, they feel odd to show that there is a mark here, right? So whereas we feel very proud, right? Whereas we feel very proud, but in some countries, they feel, some odd for this reason. So that is the reason why a new technology is going to come into the picture. Of course, experiments are made. That is called invisible ink, right? So this is indelible. Next one, of course, it takes some time for the introduction of that one. So that is going to be invisible ink. So you cannot see that. But the mark will be there. But if you expose this finger under this a particular light, that mark can be seen, and that can be seen for a period of 3 days, right? And of course, this is uh, and you cannot see with the naked eye. Only when it is exposed to a particular light, that can be seen. So this is going to come up in the nearest future, and even in India also that may come up. And it takes some time. It may not be accepted very immediately. So but this is one of the mechanisms how the technology is also improving. But otherwise, so this is called indelible ink. Now we are going to get invisible Since this is the election time, we are going to face the we are going to conduct 17th Lok Sabha elections and various state elections also. And please follow what exactly is happening with respect to the elections, right? And another important one I would like to tell you is that last year also we have discussed many times regarding the concept of a triple talaq. So in Islam there is a practice of this triple talaq where this husband divorces the wife. And so this is considered to be this social injustice to the women belong to this Islamic uh, group, Islamic religion. And that is the reason why the Supreme Court ordered the government to frame a law on this. And the government framed the law. Before that itself, government came out with the ordinance. And this in the recent Lok Sabha election, in the recent Lok Sabha also, this bill was introduced, bill was passed, and the bill came to Rajya Sabha, and bill was pending in Rajya Sabha. But what happened? Lok Sabha, these elections are going to be held, and soon Lok Sabha is going to be dissolved. Soon Lok Sabha is going to be dissolved, and before that one, there is no possibility of any new session of Lok Sabha. And that is the reason why the government issued ordinance on triple talaq again. So now the important point for you is that this ordinance was issued a few times earlier. Now you must be getting a doubt on the same subject. On the same subject, how many times ordinance can be issued? On the same subject, how many times ordinance can be issued? There is no limitation. Remember, there is no limitation. Constitution under Article number 123 of the Constitution, Article 123, has not put any restriction to the President of India to proclaim ordinance regarding the number of times. Please remember this. Very, 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 very important. The only thing is that under Article number 123, once President of India proclaims ordinance, after the reassembly of the parliament, it has to be passed in the parliament within 6 weeks from the date of reassembly of the parliament. Since it was not done with respect to this bill, the government went for issuing the ordinance again. Am I clear? And in almost all the examinations, very frequently asked question is that who issues ordinances in India? Answer is the President of India. What is the article? Article is 123. 1, 2, 3. So please remember these points. Right? So now what shall I do is that I will open the document and I'll show you the points related to this. Look at this. Yes. Now, if you can see, on triple talaq, ordinance has been proclaimed for the third time. So ordinances are proclaimed under Article number 123 of the Constitution of India. The Parliament could not pass the bill, triple talaq bill, during the winter session. We know what happened during the winter session, right? And it was passed by the Lok Sabha, but failed to get the nod in the upper house. And the opposition party members demanded that the bill should be sent to a select committee, but the government refused for that. And the bill was lapsed. The bill will be lapsed once the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Very soon, Lok Sabha is going to be dissolved, and all the bills that are passed in the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha, passed in the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha, will be dissolved the moment Lok Sabha gets dissolved. Am I clear? Right? That's the reason why government decided to go for the proclamation of ordinance on triple talaq. And another important point, as I already told you, that on single subject, ordinances can be issued any number of times because there is no restriction by the Constitution of India on the president with respect to number of times. Now, so next is the the so-called invisible ink. You may please have a look at this. You may please have a look at this. This is the invisible ink. So this is indelible ink. It is a purple stain that billions of Indians show off during the elections, right? So we know this one. And a Delhi-based National Physical Laboratory is the creator of indelible ink. And also look at this one, the MVPL. So this is the Karnataka government company. It has a monopoly on the manufacture of indelible ink since 1962. And this is the major supplier of indelible ink to the Election Commission of India since 1962. Is it clear? And rest of the points are things. And kindly remember, this chemical is a transparent liquid, and I'm talking about invisible ink, right? And is an organic, inorganic mixture that was biodegradable and could be washed off within 48 hours. And ink works on the well-known principle of fluorescence. Certain materials emit a characteristic glow when exposed to ultraviolet light. And the NPL ink, however, glows only when it is exposed to a narrow band of frequencies of ultraviolet light. And I have a question for you. Kindly have a look at this. I'll show you the answer too. Please look at this. Look at this important one. Which of the following space agencies is planning to make lunar trip sustainable so that one can go back and forth regularly with humans? Very important one. So this is called a lunar trip, like, where we go for trips on the earth. So from now, so once it is successful, people will be going from earth to lunar, that is moon. Is it okay? And which is the space agency that is planning for this? Option B, that is well known, NASA, right? So that's all for the day, and I'll see you tomorrow with more current affairs. Thank you so much for being with me, and I wish you all very, very good luck. Take very good care. Good night.